Sorry, I haven't been watching, so I'm not sure where he's at. I think he may have even... Have you drawn out this war chief? No, he's not. He's still preparing things here.
We got about 1 minute before we're going to take a quick little break.
Bob's infiltrated in. Sorry, I haven't been watching, so I'm not sure where he's... Oh, he's hunting this bodyguard, but he's actually triggered that monster hunter's hatred, so this should get pretty crazy. The one thing it's a shame you guys can't hear is, of course, all of these showdowns and all of the sort of orc dialogue that where they're able to speak to and acknowledge what's happening. They're obviously a lot more fun to listen to about this stuff than me. But it's really cool the way they do actually know what's going on. They're responding to everything that's going on, their hates, their fears, their missions, what people have done before. So Ishmael's here, the lookout. See that green icon over his head? That means we can grab him, burrow into his mind.
We got 10 seconds, and then we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back, and you're going to see some more unique gameplay and more direct questions answered by Monolith itself. The magic is happening, and you're here. More giveaways.
We continue our gameplay feature series by exploring Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor's Nemesis system. The Nemesis system creates personal interactions with your unique enemies. Every enemy will remember their encounters with you.
Killed you? Now you're back? Just my rotten luck.
A coward could try to flee to fight another day.
I'm not staying around for this. Another day!
Or a loyal captain could defend their master to the death.
You want my master? You gotta come through me. You ain't coming through me.
A warrior that strikes a death blow against Talion will gloat in a future encounter.
Is this some kind of joke? I killed you already.
Every reaction is informed by a combination of unique personality traits and past interactions, evolving the world around you in surprising ways.
Don't you move or I'll miss. I hate that.
Using the power of the Wraith, you may choose how to disrupt Sauron's war machine by creating power struggles within Orc society. Grow the power of your forces by helping them successfully complete missions. Or bring down Sauron's army from within by commanding your enemies to battle one another. Duels, beast hunts, and feasts.
Time to feast!
The Nemesis system creates a living, breathing, dynamic Orc society within Mordor, enabling every player to create their own unique villains and stories, and ensuring no two playthroughs are ever the same. As you kill, dominate, and terrify your way through the ranks of Sauron's forces, you can ultimately build your own powerful army, challenging the Dark Lord and bending Mordor to your will.
Okay, we're back. We've got Monolith Productions in the Twin Galaxies Live. Get close? Yeah. Get in there? I'm in there. Dude, we got Shadow of Mordor here. We're answering questions. We're like, I mean, the questions, by the way, have been great. We're doing giveaways. Jen, if you want to hop on and just say what other giveaways we're gonna have.
Absolutely. It's we have 9 more exclusive shirts that were only gettable if you went to E3. The only other place to get them is tonight if you answer one of these questions that are coming up.
Yeah, so we're going to have the trivia questions, 9 more shirts. Basically, you're going to see the Nemesis system in action here, and we have 3 people who can play the game all at the same time. You can watch the permutations take place. If you aren't watching at twingalaxieslive.com, that means you're not able to click and choose those windows that you see and make them bigger. So if you're only on Twitch, you won't be able to click and choose and make them bigger, but if you go to twingalaxieslive.com, you'll be able to control which one you see, and you still see everything else. Up to you. Here's my man, Michael, okay. One of the designers.
Yeah, cool. So a couple of questions that came up there as well. I'm muted. Now I'm back. Avernus Coduil, what does the Nemesis system do? So yeah, it's obviously we're going to a lot of effort to make this living world. So after you finish the story, you can absolutely stay in Mordor and keep bending it to your will for as long as you like. And additionally, we've got our challenge mode, which is another mode where you can play and actually compete against your friends to try and take down custom versions of Sauron's army, and then you can get scored. Can you do it without dying? Can you do it within a certain time limit? How many points can you score? And then we've got a whole bunch of leaderboards for that, so that's pretty fun as well. Right, so here we are. We're back with Bob. He's just managed to take down another one of these bodyguards. That's earned him a bow rune. And so that's keynote. So now he's going to get focused for killing with the bow. So he's really going to be able to, when he gets into this boss fight, really sort of move into the spirit world, use that slow-mo, have a lot of focus and kind of take control of that fight as well. Sorry, Bob, can you just go back in the army screen? I just want to see where we're at with our war chief. Sorry, Bob, can you hear me at all?
Yeah, let me just get out of dodge.
Is he? Okay, no worries. He's just getting out, trying to find
Bob,
somewhere
where are you?
safer. Okay. Right. Delta boss. Well, just waiting for Bob to get somewhere a bit safer.
Is there co-op?
We don't have co-op. This is a single-player game, but the social features we have our vendettas, where if one of these guys takes you down, it can actually create a mission, a side mission in your friend's game, where they can go and take down that nemesis enemy that defeated you, and then you both get rewarded for that. And we have the challenge mode. That is so Bob, classic Bob. That is so true. Come on. All right, okay, we're out. There we go.
What could we expect an endgame power level for a captain to look like?
That's a great question. So this guy here, Zumug the Defender, he's never going to get to find that out because he's cleared out the two bodyguards. He's also learned his strengths and weaknesses, and now he's ready to get into that stronghold and take him down. So as you'll see, Zumug here, he's level 10. We can get a pretty good look at what those sort of strengths and weaknesses look like. He's kind of a mid-level war chief. So basically, when you see this fight, you can imagine guys that are double the level of power of this. They get extremely tough. And then again, especially, it comes back to the fact that you're not just fighting one of these guys at once. You can be fighting multiple ones of them simultaneously. So I know this is pretty obvious, but one does not simply walk into Mordor and take these guys on. So, I mean, we tried to do that. The game's very, very tough. These enemies are really strong, but we also give you very, very powerful tools to take them down, whether that is head on if you just want a very intense challenge with the action like Jess is doing. I can't see, but I'm sure she's slaughtering her way through Mordor. Or, of course, the fact that they're powerful, you can turn that to your advantage by dominating them and turning them on each other. So, okay, so Bob should be pretty set to head after this guy, and we'll have one war chief down. He's marked Zumug. It's his mission objective. You can see him on the mini-map. He's up in the right.
Delta Boss wants to know, can we occupy the strongholds?
You can't permanently occupy them, but not directly, but as you build your army and you dominate these war chiefs, they're going to be stationed in those strongholds. So, sorry,
let's go.
Yeah, they're going to be stationed there. So yeah, you don't hold them. The world's constantly alive and evolving.
Frantestra wants to know what happens if every orc is dead. Will it instantly spawn new ones, or will you need to time skip?
That's something that we've spent a lot of time tuning. It's a really good question, and it's interesting because the goal of the Nemesis system isn't really to make this like a strategy game. It's that we want the world to constantly be alive and constantly be fun and constantly be full of opportunities and interesting enemies. So if you worked really hard at it, you could clear these guys out, you could kill them, but then we do make sure there are actual ways that there can always be new guys entering the hierarchy as well. what you can do if you want to totally dominate the world is brand them all, bend the entire region to your will. But even then, there's always new guys going to come in and challenge them.
The American Bagel wants to know if you get to fight Sauron. That's a secret. You're not going to get to know.
Yeah,
You see that? You see? He wants to say something, but he can't.
I can sense. All right.
See? Look at that. See, the big boss comes in. Can't be saying things. That was a good question, American Bagel.
I want to answer.
Okay, he wants it, but you get nothing.
Okay.
How much time went into getting the Nemesis system to work?
All of it. All of the time.
It's still going.
That's it. That's actually true. That's not even exaggeration. So, since the beginning of the project, and even then, that was already beginning from a foundation, at Monolith of having extremely good AI. So beyond that, there's the foundation of the engine to begin with, and then just constantly working on that. It was a very, very challenging problem that, fortunately, has really come together, I think.
C. Malin Zero wants to know: are there any defense missions like Osgiliath or Minas Tirith?
This is really, again, we've only sort of revealed these two regions, but this is really a game about getting behind enemy lines and kind of taking the fight to the forces of Shadow. So it really is about getting in there and, you're on the offense, I would say.
Matthew wants to know, does the ending provide for a sequel? And guess what? You don't get to know. You got to buy the game and find out, my friend.
You'll find out some amount of time after October 7, however long it takes you to finish. Yeah.
MK Ultra says this is an amazing system and that you guys have really done something here. So, congrats to Monolith on that.
Thank you.
For sure.
Okay, so where are we at?
What happens when you brand all the war chiefs? What happens after that?
So yeah, that's great. So the mission that we were showing at E3 was we've met this a new character from the game, Queen Marwen, and there's something going on there. She's a little bit mysterious. There's obviously some power at work there, and there's two things that she wants to do, or that she says she wants to do. One is she wants to realize the power of the Wraith. So she knows something about the history, the past, the abilities of this Wraith, and she wants you to realize those powers. And secondly, she wants you to do that to build an army to challenge the Dark Lord, to challenge Sauron. So she's really got something in common with Saruman there. Saruman believed that the only possible way you could take on someone as powerful as Sauron was by matching him power, by going head to head and using almost his super weapons against him, which were the Uruk-hai. So that's very much how she's thinking and what she's saying you can do. And then, of course, that's what you're going to attempt to do. So after you've built your army, after you've dominated those war chiefs, you're going to take those forces and you're going to take them into the end game and challenge the Dark Lord in Mordor.
Husky Claw asked, outside of combat, is there anything else to do in the game?
Absolutely. So that goes back to the sort of, I guess, earlier point I was trying to make. Because there's so much to the Nemesis system, and because we really find, you have to see it in action, or ideally you have to get your hands on it and play it to really appreciate how it can play out. We've been focusing on showing that, but there's a whole bunch of other stuff to do in the game. There's a lot of side missions to complete, hunting challenges, survivalist challenges, each of the weapons. We really want our weapons to be characters. They have a history that unfolds through their own side missions and their own challenges. There's obviously the story missions where we put a lot of diversity of different activities. And the other thing, Mordor and Middle-earth, it's so rich and deep in lore and in history. And so that's really important. So the exploration and the collection and uncovering secrets and learning lore is a big part of the game as well. So huge range of different things to do. And then, of course, the customization of your weapons, upgrading of your character, lots of stuff.
All right, we're going to take a quick break and do a giveaway. We've got things to give away to the viewing audience. Jen is going to hit the mic, and...
Absolutely. Just a quick reminder before we do that, to pre-order, you get an exclusive with the Dark Rangers character skin, and if you register for a WBID, you get an exclusive Orc Hunter room. So that's amazing. Here's the question. First person to answer correctly gets an exclusive shirt. What is the pre-order exclusive?
Were you listening? Big question. What is the pre-order exclusive? If you can answer that question, you will win one of the exclusive t-shirts that they were giving away at E3. It's the only place you could have got it. And so this is here. Can you answer the question? That's the question. What?
There. Oh, Landiar.
So fast.
Wow.
I believe it was Landiar. Yep, Landiar, the Dark Ranger skin. I'm gonna excuse the skin. But yeah, you've won. Just make sure you watch the chat. We're gonna type in instructions. But back to you.
All right, we're now back.
Actually, just before there was a great question. We probably should have said up front. Was are we all playing on PlayStation 4? So yeah, Ryan and Bob and Jessica. This is all our live game on PlayStation 4 as well. So it's in really good shape.
Yeah, there's actually 3 PlayStation 4 dev kits here, and you can see that in the broadcast as they're all playing.
So, here we are. We've reached him. Bob's reached Zumug the Defender. We can see, all of that sort of work he put in earlier of eliminating those bodyguards, of drawing him out, of getting him on his own, has really paid off. So now he's got a one-on-one fight against this guy, which is going to be very significantly easier than if he was, unless he just wails on his shield pointlessly like that. Very, very much easier than it would have been if he had been surrounded by his bodyguards. Okay.
All right.
Oh, he's got an ability point that he probably should spend here as well. Okay, he's got behind him with his shield.
Can you become so badass that an orc captain will run when he sees you?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things we really wanted to do, I'll try not to get too lengthy in the answer to this, but we really want to make you terrifying to the inhabitants of Mordor. You almost are the same to them as what the Witch King or the Ring Wraiths are to the sort of free people of Middle-earth. It's the inverse of that. So as you grow in power and as the Wraith grows in power, they can become extremely scared of you, and you can't even get to the level where they will just flee in terror. Even some of the captains will have a straight up... Oh, I forgot to check his hate. So he's now enraged by being burned there. That's going to make this a little harder, but I'm sure he's got it. But, sorry, just to go back to that question. And then also, as you upgrade your 3 weapons, so Urfile, your sword, Akan, which means vengeance, your dagger, and your bow, much like we see in the Hobbit, when they see Biter and Beater, so Thorin and Gandalf's swords, they can recognize your weapons and flee in terror. And we also give you attacks and abilities like some of our stealth kills that are specifically terrifying, so you can make these guys break and run. So the other thing, sorry, and then I'll get on to the next question, but the other thing that's really fun about that is because these guys survive and fight, they'll live to fight another day. If they do break and run, A, it can make for some really fun chases, and B, if they do get away, they'll live to fight another day and they'll remember your last encounter. So, that's part of what builds up these stories around making your own villains. So fear is a big part of the game.
There are a couple of quick technical questions. One is this game look the same on Xbox One? And the other one is this running at 1080p 60 frames per second on PS4?
Oh, we should ask that. Kevin. Where's Kevin?
Kevin, here, we're bringing in the big dog.
For you, sorry.
Is on the PS4, is it 1080p 60 frames per second? Inquiring mind wants to know.
It's definitely 1080p, and yeah, we're going to do everything we can to get to 60 frames a second.
There you go. So he just said it would be 580 frames a second, and it's on the PS5. Oh, he also what about the Xbox One?
Go, Bob!
Does it look the same
so we
on the
have
Xbox
one war
One?
chief down. Yes. Oh, and so because he's taken down that war chief, Zumug's gone. He's off the pedestal. The world's updated, and that's dropped one of the epic runes as well. Oh, that other guy's getting chewed to death at the same time. So the epic runes, these ones are really fun. They can really help you change up your combat style, become extremely powerful. I just check it. That is, oh, we get ammo back on our kills. Okay, so you get your ammo back on head explosions. This is a rune that's really fun because it can stack with some other runes. So some of the other runes that can start triggering more head explosions. So just be an inferno.
Time out. I was kidding about 580 frames per second. I was kidding. I was teasing them. Don't print that. We have 1 minute. We're gonna go to a little quick break, and then we'll be back with giveaways and more top secret information that you're only gonna get here because it's secret and it's top. So I'm just telling you. So Michael, you can take us out for the next 30 seconds.
Okay, so Bob's got one war chief down. He can go for the other. Where's Jessica and Ryan at? Ryan, can you hear me? Sorry, I haven't been watching. Are you dominated this hierarchy? Show me this army
What's Ryan
screen.
doing?
What are you doing? Okay, he's hunting Northco Hard Eater. I can see on the objectives he hasn't actually bent too much of Mordor to his will, but I'm sure that's coming. And Jessica. No. How many have you killed?
I've killed a lot.
She's killed
a lot. Okay.
Like 2 or 3.
All right.
Excellent.
In every orc in
5 seconds, and we'll be back in.
Silence! He has left his mark on you, as I left mine on the ones he loved. Where is he? I thirst for slaughter. He thirsts for the same thing as you. Keeps rising from the grave in the spirit that burns inside him. Drinks deeper slaughter. Yes. Moves like a ghost. Smites like a devil. I'll tell you, I've seen him face to face. He told me to tell you you're next. You would do his bidding. You will do. Brave Walker! Enough of your games! Show yourself and I will kill you!
I wish you could.
We are back with Monolith, Shadow of Mordor, and we're kicking this off with a giveaway right now. Jen, get on the mic and let's give a t-shirt away right now.
Yep, first person to answer this question, what is the exclusive you get for registering for WBID? First person answer.
What is the exclusive you get for registering for a WBID? First person to answer, t-shirt that you could only have gotten at E3. We're watching.
It's not that. Catcaster, not specific enough.
Got to be specific.
No, almost. Oh, C. Dover got it.
All right.
C. Dover got it.
C. Dover, is that who it was?
Uh-huh.
Well, you guys are going to be quick on your fingertips. We're giving t-shirts away. You're all going to be naked, or only be a few of you with shirts on. Just saying. All right. So, for those who are just joining the broadcast, we are showing the Nemesis system that's in Shadow of Mordor, which is essentially reacting to the player's action and making the game experience totally unique. And we've got 3 people playing the game all at the same time, and you can watch them all unfold incredibly differently, even though they're all starting at the same spot and they're all playing the same amount of time. So I have the head super designer, master chief of design over at Monolith, Michael here, who's answering questions and letting you guys have amazing secrets that you're not normally allowed to have. If you're watching this broadcast only on Twitch, you're not able to actually click on the screen and pick the video feeds. But if you go to twingalaxieslive.com, you get total control over which camera is bigger, so you can look at the gameplay, each person playing, without missing any of the action or any of the discussion. So it's up to you. Now I give the floor to Michael.
Excellent. Thank you. So I guess a quick recap on where we're at. We've got Bob Roberts, sorry, big night, our lead designer, and basically he's taking the approach of tactics, strategy, taking down the bodyguards, getting intel, learning the strengths and weaknesses of these enemies to go after the war chiefs. We've got Jessica Masnica. She's taking a much more direct and violent approach to getting things done. And Ryan Ladine, our designer, he's also focusing much more on bending these guys to his will, using the power of the Wraith and using domination. So I'm having a bit of trouble seeing all of what's going on with all three at once, but Bob, just a bit earlier, managed to take down the first of the sort of 5 war chiefs, and I'm kind of assuming that he's now setting himself up to go for a second one. He's having a showdown with this captain here. I really wish you guys could hear the different showdowns, because you can play this game for dozens of hours and not hear the same one twice, and they're absolutely, it's so fun hearing their different personalities and how they respond.
Stony Zoidberg asks, if a dominated orc dies, does it still drop a rune?
Yes, it does. They'll drop a rune related to their level of power and their attributes, but the things they won't drop, one is if you want to guarantee that you get a rune of a certain type, so for your sword, for combat, for your dagger, for stealth, for your bow, then you need to exploit their vulnerabilities, plan, and take them down according to their weaknesses. Sometimes we don't have subtitles for our showdowns at this point. And then the other thing is, if you want to earn an epic rune, which are our most powerful runes, the ways to do that is either to take down the war chiefs or to deliver death threats. And death threats you do by grabbing an orc, sending a message to one of these captains or war chiefs, actually warning them that you're coming for them. And so because they know you're coming, they get more paranoid, they're ready, they train, they become even more powerful, and they also get a gang of supporters that are going to defend them. So you can actually make it more challenging for yourself. You can make it harder, but you also get a chance of getting some of our most epic loot as well.
There was a question about who you guys cast to play the characters in the game. I don't know if you've revealed that or...
Yeah, we have, so quite a few of them. So especially, so Talion is played by Troy Baker, who's just an absolutely amazing actor. He brought so much to this character, even over and above maybe what we initially had on the page, and just the thrill of getting to work with him as our lead character, and then with Christian Canamessa, who was the lead designer on Red Dead, as the director. So those two guys working together, as well as everything else, just did an amazing job. And I think that's why we're going to be so excited to be able to show more of the story and more of that side of the game in the future as well. And then everyone else in the cast was incredible as well. Alistair Duncan was, I so nearly said the name of the Wraith then. Alistair Duncan was the Wraith, and Laura Bailey, Jennifer Hale as well, Galadriel, that we hear in our sort of prologue. Just an amazing cast. It was brilliant.
The American Bagel wants to know, how far can a dominated orc level up?
All the way. So at the moment, I think we've taken them up to like level 20. And the thing is, you can do that. You can level them up. If you get them, you send them on missions, you help them, they succeed in those missions, they're going to level up. So you can farm these guys up. So you can have a full row of max level war chiefs. You can also get other captains, dominate them, make them be the bodyguards to those war chiefs. So, you can make a truly powerful force, and then you're going to be taking that army into the sort of final fight fights of the game as well. So, you know, it really makes a difference to how the end game will play out.
Mark Goley asked a really interesting question. Since this takes place between The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, how much of an impact does Talion's, actions have